East Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.
All right, good Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night Baseball here on NETSN. My name is Jeremy Diamond. I'm joined tonight by my good friend Jeremy Titsworth. So you got Jeremy and Jeremy tonight. We're here in Tyler, Texas at the Cumberland Academy High School campus for tonight's baseball matchup between the Cumberland Academy Knights and the Kilgore Bulldogs. Jeremy, have you gotten a chance yet to see these guys play, the Bulldogs play? You did earlier in the year, right?
Earlier in the year. I think it was like some tournament plays, basically, what I saw early on. Other than that, I've been covering some softball.
You've kind of been a little bit everywhere. Again, the Kilgore team is coming in. They've got just one loss in the district, their very first district opener against Carthage, and then they've been on a roll since. And so it's been an exciting time to be a Kilgore Bulldog fan, and we're just excited to be along for the ride. This is a rematch from Tuesday night. We were in Kilgore Tuesday night, and Kilgore came away with a 16-1 win in just 4 innings. Cumberland had a rough first inning. They gave up 9 runs, just had a hard time getting outs. And it just kind of one of those snowball nights where everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
And I'm just going to say right now, the way this wind's blowing, they better be careful, too. Somebody gets to hold some of these balls. It's going to do some weird things in the air.
Yes, and that was part of the issue. A lot of it was throwing errors, some over-aggressive throws, maybe throws you might not want to make. They had a guy on third, and they threw one. The pitcher, tried to throw somebody out at second, threw it in the outfield, and it gave up 2 runs. Some things like that where you had some overthrows and some mistakes that were made. It cost the team runs, and so I think for them to clean those things up, right, and then if you're Kilgore, it's more of the same. Take advantage of mistakes, big hits, get those timings down.
Play clean baseball.
That's right. And again, you can hear a little bit, the wind whipping a little bit here. It was pretty calm when we were setting up, and then about 20 minutes ago it decided, just kidding, we're going to get windy, and so there's a cold front coming in. We're glad you've tuned in tonight. Hope you're enjoying it. Please let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We would love to know. And again, if you couldn't make it down from Kilgore, we hope you catch the stream here and share it with your friends. And if you're a Cumberland Academy Knight fan, we'd love for you to tune in as well. You saw the shot there where the one of those I think we call that the what was it, gosh, I'm going blank, the baseball game, just a bit outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you had
just a bit outside.
Yeah, he launched that one about, our camera's up there a ways, and he put it about 8 feet over the camera there on that one. So
He did, and you can't come out with Timmy Trumpets playing right now, and you come out here and throw that.
That's right. So on the mound tonight for the Cumberland Academy Knights is going to be Alex Mayo. His battery mate is Nick Savage, who actually finished the game at pitcher. He pitched the second, third, and fourth inning. And then on the other side for Kilgore, tonight's pitcher is the normal shortstop Colton Hale. And then that's going to put Tuesday night's pitcher Kason Edney at shortstop. And so we're going to run through those lineups. So leading off for the Bulldogs is going to be number 2, Kason Brooks in center field. Batting second, Colton Hale, the pitcher. Batting third, Miles Applegate, the catcher. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot is the shortstop Kason Edney. Batting fifth is the DH Kason Henry. Batting sixth is the first baseman Brody Benson. Batting seventh is Colt Barnhart, the second baseman. Batting eighth, the third baseman Brody Smith. Batting ninth is the left fielder Braden Williams. And then tonight, Rafaelo Adames is playing right field, and he will not be batting, so he'll be your position-only player.
There you go.
For Cumberland, on the other side, their leadoff man is the catcher, Nick Savage. Batting second is Alex Mayo, the pitcher. Batting third is Julian Ramirez, the second baseman. Batting fourth is Evan Fountain at first. Batting fifth is Carson Walker, the shortstop. Batting sixth, the DH is Brett Ferguson. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Braden Christian. Batting eighth, Kendrick Abbey, the left fielder. And then batting ninth is Timo Simmons, the third baseman. All right, here is the first pitch of the ball game. Loud, long foul ball there.
Not too bad.
No.
Good way to start off.
No, good pace there on the throw by Mayo. So dial that one in a little bit better than that warm-up pitch.
I think Mayo was just happy it was in the box there.
Yeah. All right, here's the 0-1. Nice off-speed pitch there by Mayo for a quick 0-2.
That was just nasty.
Yeah, Brooks is shaking his head like, yeah, that was filthy. He agrees. And he said it wasn't low. No, it dropped right over there. All right, so you got the tornado sirens going in the dugout. All right, here's the 0-2 delivery. It's a foul ball again off of Brooks. If Brooks gets on base, he's dangerous. He's got all kinds of speed. He's got world-class speed. Again, the starting quarterback for the Bulldog team, and then also played basketball. So the true definition of a multi-sport athlete. He probably runs track, too. You know?
I was just going to say, that's what you want out of your leadoff man. Get him on base, just whatever you can do.
All right.
He didn't like the tornado sounds. Okay.
He says no fun and games over here, so no tornado siren sound is allowed. Again, the wind is whipping, if you can hear it. Can the fans do it, though?
I heard the fans crank it up, so.
Yeah, here's the 0-2 delivery. That one's outside for a ball, so 1 ball, 2 strikes is our count.
There we go. Is it popping up now?
Yeah, it'll come. I think it was just kind of a little bit delayed. There we go. He checks his swing. Doesn't go, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almost offered it that one.
Close.
Yeah, it was real close. He said, maybe not. I'll hold off.
Well, that's a tough thing, too, because the earlier pitch he saw was perfect, same spot.
Yeah, it was a great chance there for Mayo to get the strikeout. Again, outside, so works it to a full count, so 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's how you keep working right there. Still not populating?
Yeah, it's good. It's good now.
Okay. I can refresh mine.
It's such a tiny screen, sometimes it's hard to tell. All right, here's the full count delivery. Ooh. And he says, strikeout looking. All right, that's going to bring up the pitcher, Colton Hale, batting second. It seemed a little high, maybe
did
a little
a
little
little
high, a
bit.
little outside, but he gave it to him. So
I think what got me, though, is the delay call. But, I mean, I've seen even worse than that. It's been a 10, 12-second delay on a call.
all right, so here's Hale versus Mayo. Here's the pitch. That was high and outside for a ball. And again, our goal here, what we want is consistency, right? We want the same call every time.
Same strike zone for everybody.
That's right. Here's the 1-0. Misses outside and low for a ball.
I think the wind has got our camera out there, too.
Yeah, it's got everything moving. That's going to be a foul ball there. That's got the home plate cam wiggling. We're just knocking everything around tonight. So one of those nights where things kind of get funky and get moving.
It's fine. Brett's going to come back and be like, hey, we just put things through the test.
Yeah, you just trial run here. We're trying some new things tonight. So here's the 2-1 delivery. Squares to bunt, and that bunt is in the air and foul. Just got under that one a little bit.
Just a little too much. Got a little too much air on it.
We had one on Tuesday night where it was in the air forever. It was like the slowest bunt ever, and the pitcher dove and caught it, and the runner at first didn't even pay attention, and he was rounding second.
Man.
And I think he thought there were 2 outs, and so it was one of those you got somebody picked off without even trying, one of those like crazy weird things. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a ground ball up the middle. The throw is going to go to first base, and in time for the out. Again, we're having a little issue here. It seems like our cameras are a little bit of delay. I think the wind has something to do with it. But quickly 1 out there, so he grounds out. So 2 outs here. That's going to bring up the catcher, Miles Applegate. Here's the pitch. It's a high pop-up over the second baseman. He ranges, trying to get to it. Again, the wind is going to mess with it, but Ramirez is able to make the catch. And so that's going to do it for the top of the first inning. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more baseball action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Again, bottom of the first inning here, score 0-0. Cumberland Academy is going to be coming up to bat, and again, they're going to be facing Colton Hale. So Kilgore goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning, a little bit different than the other night when they scored 9 runs. So a better start for Cumberland here, and they're going to look to try to do something with the sticks in this first inning to see if they can get something going.
I wouldn't figure they would score 9 again like that. Like you said, I wasn't at that game, but you said there was a lot of errors, overthrows, things like that. And
yeah.
That's some fundamental baseball there. That they definitely got worked on prior to this game.
Well, and I think the thing, too, Kilgore does a really good job of getting guys on base and moving them around. So if you can get the key to them is getting that first guy on. Because then you put pressure on everybody, right? You're putting pressure on the fielders. You're putting pressure on the pitcher because you got a lot of guys that can steal bases. And so that's going to be an advantage for Kilgore to be able to do those things. And so when you don't get that guy on base, it makes it much harder, right? Because they're more of an old school, move guys station to station versus you're not going to get a lot of the big fly. Now, you might hit a double here or there, but really they're kind of a station to station team. And so for them, the advantage is really from getting guys on and getting guys moved around. So
Call that put another quarter in the carousel.
That's right. We used to call it the matriculation station, just move somebody from one to the next. Man, it is really whipping out here. I put a windsock on the mic, and I don't think it didn't matter.
No, the wind said, watch this.
Yes, good try, sir. Good try. But again, we're glad you tuned in. We hope you're enjoying it. If you haven't done so yet, do us a big favor and click that subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't already. That lets us know that you're watching, and also gives us a chance to just kind of grow our following. And again, you can get updates when we go live so that you won't miss a bit of the action here when we go live. And again, we cover a bunch of different teams, but every Kilgore game that goes live, you would get notified of that, and you wouldn't miss any of the action if you're not able to be there at the game. All right, so Hale's going to match up here with Nick Savage, the catcher, leading off. And we're fighting some issues here, so we apologize for that. Springtime in East Texas, right? You never know what you're going to get. All right, so 1 ball, no strikes.
Glad we put those weights is all I'm saying.
It's a line shot out to right center field. It lands, and that's going to be a single there for Savage. So first runner on for them. That's going to bring up the second batter, Alex Mayo, the pitcher. So he's going to look to help his own cause here.
That's how you get off to a quick start right there.
Yes. Yeah, get the first guy on and then start trying to get guys around bases. All right, here's the first pitch to Mayo. That's in the dirt. Great stop there by Applegate. Great job to block that and keep it in front of it. So 1 ball, no strikes here. Again, a good crowd from Kilgore off to our right here.
They were still fouling in a while ago, too.
Yeah. All right, ground ball in the dirt. It's going to take a big hop. Barnhart picks it up, throws to first. And in time for the out. So a ground out there. That's going to move the runner to second base. And going to bring up number 7, Julian Ramirez, the second baseman. He spins, he fires. They always try the hidden ball trick. You got to go for it at least once, right? And so Brooks did a good job with the hat sell there. He threw the hat off and took off. Savage has probably seen that once or twice. Said, "Not going to fool me this time." All right, here's the pitch. He goes for the bunt, gets the bunt down. Throw goes to first. No one's covering.
I was fixing our stuff.
Yeah, trying to get everything. Again, we're having one of those fun nights where everything is kind of backwards here. So coach is going to take a quick timeout here to talk to the guys. Again, there was a little mix-up on the coverage there. Benson came down on the bunt, and then nobody rotated over, so Barnhart didn't rotate over. He thought he had second, and so he was trying to cover there, and that didn't work either. So thank you for the help. Appreciate it. I'm telling you, it's one of those
brutal.
nights. Always thankful for good friends and people that have become friends that are helping us out over here. All right, so the umpire is going to come out to the mound and chase everybody off. He said, you had enough time there. So, again, everybody's okay, right? It's that thing where you just got to be like, hey, let's just get the out
Calm
here.
down a little bit.
Right? Yeah, we got one out. All we need is a double play. We're out of the inning, right? The guy at third doesn't matter as long as he doesn't get anywhere. All right, that's going to bring up Evan Fountain. He's the first baseman. I get a time call there and a reset. All right, here's the pitch. Misses low and outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one's inside for ball 2. So quickly 2 balls, no strikes here to Fountain. Again, I think the wind affects the pitcher too. And Hale's got a really good sweeper, and it makes it that much harder to locate pitches that are off speed like that because of the fact that the wind is whipping.
It's going to do something a little different to it than what you're normally seeing.
There's that off speed pitch that we know so well, and got a foul ball out of it. So 2 balls, 1 strike. You just got to laugh sometimes, don't you?
I mean, it's crazy, man.
All right, the 2-1 pitch. That one's fouled off the netting behind us, out of play, or back into play. It hit the top of the net and came back in, so 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We get through this inning here. I'll fix it. I got an idea. I got an idea.
All right, I like it. All right, here's the 2-2.
Oh, I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one to miss. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. I don't know about that one either. That one looked pretty good. All right, so the old school countdown, the 3-2-1. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Here's the pitch. And he gets it. So it gets him looking on the strikeout. And that's going to be the first Tara Harris State Farm strikeout of the night. Again, we want to say thank you to Tara Harris of State Farm there in Kilgore. She's been the primary sponsor of Kilgore Bulldog Baseball this season, along with the Kilgore Bulldog Baseball Booster Club. Say that 5 times fast, right? So the Booster Club has been great as well, just reaching out to us and been a great partner for us, and we've enjoyed getting to know those guys and working with them. All right, so first pitch ball. Again, Hale just struggling a little bit with location. Again, I think the wind has a lot to do with that. That off-speed stuff makes it that much harder to throw when it's windy. All right, here's the 1-0 delivery from Hale. He checks the runner twice. That's a quick, hard foul off to our right here.
When you're that type of pitcher and you're not one relying on straight gas, it's tough because you're going to miss location just by a fraction when normally you would hit it. That's the tough part.
And I think, too, this umpire team seems to have a different strike zone. Normally it's a lot lower and it's less high, and this one seems to give you more of the high strike and not of the lower pitch. And Hale really does well at the bottom of the zone. That's kind of where his bread and butter is, especially on that sweeper. All right, here's the 1-1.
That was a pretty pitch.
That was a great pitch. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you could kind of see that earlier when he didn't call the low ball a strike and then called a high fastball strike.
Right.
So.
And again, you got to adjust, right? Here's the 1-2 delivery. And straight gas. Gets him swinging. So another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. That's going to do it for the first inning. So we're going to be taking a short break. We'll be right back for the second inning of play here in Tyler, Texas at the high school campus of Cumberland Academy. We'll be right back after this.
This is where legends rise. On the hardwood, under the lights, from the buzzer beaters to the rim rockers, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story, from the blacktop to the big stage. Your favorite hoopers, your squads, your passion, all in one place, only on NETSN. Live games, exclusive shows. This is the future of basketball culture. 24/7 sports entertainment. This isn't just a network. This is a movement. Welcome to NETSN. Game on.
All right, we're back. Second inning action here in Tyler, Texas at the campus of Cumberland Academy. And leading off for the Kilgore Bulldogs is number 6, Kason Edney. He's playing shortstop tonight for the Bulldogs. Normally he's a pitcher or first baseman, but tonight he's switching things up. All right, first pitch is a ball low. And, again, it's been consistent, right? We talked about it a little bit in the break, too, even. Like, he's going to allow the high strike. He's not calling the low strike, so pitchers have to adjust to that. Here's the 1-0. That one a little high and a little inside.
I'm going to say, I like the quick reflexes by that ump back there, though, too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, you got to be ready. That one's coming in hot. So here's the 2-0 delivery from Mayo. That's a loud foul ball out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike. All right, here's the 2-1 pitch. That one misses low and inside, so 3 balls and 1 strike.
I thought he was about to. I mean, that hand went up.
Yeah,
but
he started to, and then I think he was like, no, that was. I don't think he. I think he thought better of it, which was the right decision. So walks him. All right, so it's going to put a runner on first base for the DH, Kason Henry. Throws over to first base. Not in time. There's the pitch, high and outside for a ball. Eddie jogs back.
And my idea didn't work. Sorry.
That's all good. It's the first time I've actually used the canopy outside. Throws over to first again. Edney's back in plenty of time. All right, Mayo's looking in, waiting for the sign. Checks the runner at first, comes home. Off-speed pitch, a great pitch to bunt. Henry lays the bunt down. The throw is wide, and both runners are safe. So a great single there by him. And that's going to advance. So we got runners first and second, 2 ducks on the pond, 1 in scoring position here for the first baseman, Brody Benson.
So since you were at the previous game, is this about how that first inning went?
Yeah, it was kind of similar to that, like just
one thing after another?
Yeah, and it kind of snowballed, and here's the pitch. That's a good pitch down the middle. A little inside maybe, but I like the finish there. Kind of an interesting move there by Mayo, that freeze, that big turn back to second and freeze. Kind of got Edney not sure where to go there.
I think just kind of watched it at that point.
Yeah, he just kind of was like, comes home, and he hits it. Yeah, so this is a lot like what happened. So bases are loaded now, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Colt Barnhart.
It's a tough one right now for Cumberland. No outs?
Yeah, no outs, bases loaded. And again, if it'd be hard not to go, oh man, here it goes again, right? Like after what happened on Tuesday night,
because that's not that long ago.
It wasn't. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about playing the same teams for the most part in their schedule, Tuesday, Friday, home and away, is it hasn't been that long since you played somebody. So those, if it went well, it's a good memory, and if it didn't, it's not a great thing to reflect on. All right, so fouled that one away. So 0-1 to Barnhart. Edney's got a lot of length, so a slide from him can go a long way because he's pretty tall, right? He's got you could see maybe a position here where maybe they do something where they maybe the option of the safety squeeze here or something like that, but right down the middle for a strike.
I think that was the one you could have taken though.
Yeah, I think he knows it too because as soon as he didn't swing, he's like, that was the one. It's probably the best one I might see. So now he's got to be careful here. He's got to be selective, but he's also got to protect the plate. The 0-2 delivery from Mayo. Off speed, low and away for a ball.
Not a bad pitch, though, from Mayo. Trying to get him to chase.
Yeah, why not, right? Start it in the middle and let it work off the plate and see if you can get a chase. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, nobody out here. Bases loaded. Comes home quick. And a line shot up the middle. He's going to score 1. Oh, it's booted by the center fielder. And that's going to bring a second run home. So a 2-run single. And so now we got runners at first and second for tonight's third baseman, Brody Smith. So a great 2-run shot there by Barnhart. Great piece of hitting by him.
I think the only thing there, Mayo gave him that pitch he saw earlier that was right down the middle. So.
Yeah, and he tried to quick pitch him. I don't know if you saw that, but he tried the quick throw. He comes, squares around the bunt. That bunt skied out of there. So strike 1 there. Not a bad idea there by Smith to throw the bunt down. Because that's going to test the coverage of the third baseman. Is he going to charge? Is he going to stay home? Right?
What's he doing?
Yeah. And again, with a pitcher twisting like that too, it's going to throw off his vision, and so it could be a good pitch to do. All right, he squares again to bunt, but takes his eye off and called that one a strike. He likes that high and outside. Umpire does.
Gets a few signs called in.
Comes set, checks the runner at second, comes home. That one's low, and it gets away. So both runners are going to advance. So runners at second and third. Again, 0-2 to Smith. Well, it should be 1-2. There we go. Now it's 1-2. Okay. The scoreboard out there had it as 0-2. I was like, hold on a minute, hold on. All right, here's the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop picks it. He's going to throw home. And nobody's home. So an error there, I would say, probably on the shortstop decision making. So you're going to have an error that's going to score a run. It's going to advance the runner at second to third. And it's going to get all right, so runners on the corners here. Again, nobody out here top of the second inning, excuse me. That's a wild pitch. Gets up in the netting and scores a run. All right, a little wild action there. All right, so another run scored. So 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. And again, kind of that thing where the snowball started rolling and it really hasn't stopped rolling.
No, and that's what I asked you. Was this kind of reminiscent of what happened on Tuesday?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of what happened. And again, obviously if Walker could take it back there at short, he throws that ball to first base and gets the sure out, right? You give up the run to get the sure out because you probably weren't going to get him either way, even with a great throw.
No, that's that old cliche, out's always at first.
Yes. And again, maybe if it's the game-winning run, you do something different. Oh, that was a hot shot back.
Okay.
So 2 balls and a strike on that foul there.
Oh, was that? Did he count that as a foul?
He did, yeah. It clipped off the bat of Williams just barely and came climbing up. At least he gave the signal.
I thought it more hit him on the shoulder, but he didn't say nothing about it.
But he was squared to bunt.
He was.
So throw to second, not in time. Not a bad pickoff move there, though, by Mayo. That was actually pretty good. It was close. Smith able to get back just under the tag. All right, here's the 2-1 delivery. Off-speed pitch, ground ball, high bounce there. Fountain fumbles it at first. He boots it again, and he's unable to pick it up. Just again, when it rains, it pours, so an error there on the first baseman. So that's going to put runners on the corners, and again, we're back to the top of the lineup. So that's going to bring up Kason Brooks. Throw to first. Not in time. Williams gets back. Again, those can be dangerous because you got a runner on third, right? You got to be careful and selective with that throw over there. Throws over to first again and back in time.
And unfortunately, like you talked about a while ago with the snowball effect, I mean, you just got a runner on board because of what
Right.
happened at first. And
Right.
I'd be afraid something else is going to happen.
Comes home. Ground ball off the glove of the pitcher. And everybody's going to be safe. That's going to be a hard hit single. And again, it scores a run, so a single there by Brooks. And then runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up Colton Hale. So Colton Hale now working with a 5-0 lead, and he's up here to do some more damage for himself. See what he can do here. Squares the bunt. Lays down a great bunt.
That was a beautiful bunt.
Throw goes to first base. In time for the out. But it does advance for both runners, so good sacrifice bunt there. So runners at second and third, one out here. Again, top of the second inning, 5-0 Kilgore. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. All right, Applegate's up to bat. Here's the pitch, off speed and away for ball one.
Crazy thing is, with that beautiful bunt a while ago, he almost made it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, what a shot there by Applegate. That's down the left field line and fair. That's going to plate two. And Applegate's going to get to second. So a 2-run double there for Miles Applegate. And the Bulldogs are rolling. Ooh. All right, so 2-run double there for Miles Applegate. He's going to get the courtesy runner. That courtesy runner is going to be Devin Tenney, number 14.
We don't have that feature yet.
Yeah. We don't want to mess with it. I'm afraid it'll change the lineup or something. Yeah, we don't want to mess with it. I just ignore that one out of the kindness of my stat heart. we'll say his name. It might say someone else scored it, but
There you go.
We'll know that Tenney did it. So. Our appearance tonight. Here's the pitch. It's high, ball one. Mayo comes set, comes home. Off-speed pitch over the head of Edney, which is not easy to do at 6'6".
I was going to say, how tall was that pitch?
Yeah, that thing had that would have hit a 7-foot rim, right? The ones I can still dunk on. All right, here's the 2-0 delivery. And ball three is high, and it gets away as a wild pitch. And Tenney is going to scoot to third. All right, so runner at third base, 3-0 count here for Edney. More than likely, you're going to see him be pretty selective with the runner at third and just the one out. He lays off, and ball four. All right, so runners at the corners. That's going to bring up the DH, Kason Henry. And we're going to have a quick meeting at the mound. All right, so while they have that quick meeting at the mound, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for more action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Again, top of the second inning. It's 7-0 in favor of Kilgore. Henry is up to bat.
As the lights come on at the ballpark.
Yeah, lights came on in the ballpark. Throw over to first, not in time. All right, checks the runner at first again. Comes home. Inside for a ball. I think at this that makes sense.
Rather than attacking the
just attack the guy at the plate and see what happens. And I think that's where he's had his most success. That's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Left fielder comes on. We had a collision, but he makes the catch. Throw comes home, and a sacrifice fly. All right, so again, 2 outs here in the inning. That's going to bring up Benson. Again, runner at first base. Takes that high stinking cheese and was a little bit behind on it. That might have been a strike at tonight's call. It was a little high, but you never know, right? You almost can't take those chances. Throw to first, not in time.
As tall as he is, I might take the high Gouda too.
Yeah, I mean, it looked tantalizing and tempting there, I'm sure. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Runner goes. Pitches gets away from the catcher. Another wild pitch, and I think it's a stolen base either way.
I think so too.
So we'll give him the stolen base. So runner at second. Here again, 2 outs here in the inning. You can see Edney there at second base getting his lead. Mayo checks him out. We got the 1-1 delivery coming our way. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. What a great pitch there.
That was a pretty pitch.
That was nice. It froze Benson. Benson thought it was going to be high, and it just nestled right in there.
It would have froze me too because I looked at it and I was like, oh man, that's going to be out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it just settled
The bottom
right in
fell
there.
out.
There's the pitch. High fly ball, but that's going to be out of play and foul. All right, here's the 1-2 delivery. That's a loud, high shot, deep center field. The center fielder's ranging back and over and makes the catch. All right, so that's going to do it for the top of the second inning, but not before Kilgore plates 8 runs. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back for the bottom of the second inning to see if Hale can keep the lead at 8. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth. Again, joining you from Cumberland Academy High School here in Tyler, Texas, as the Cumberland Academy Knights are facing the Kilgore Bulldogs. Again, a rematch from Tuesday night, which Kilgore won 16-1. And in the second inning, they put up 8 runs. They put up a snowman. In the game on Tuesday, they put up 9 in the first inning, so a little bit different tonight. But then again, kind of by the second inning, much of the same. And now Kilgore has got an uphill battle here as they seek to get back in this one. It's going to be the DH Brett Ferguson up to bat, and again, Colton Hale is going to be in his second inning of work here for the Bulldogs.
It definitely was a snowball effect, though. One thing after another just kept going wrong.
Yeah, and I think really the throw home on the ground ball to short was really the one that just really kind of got him off kilter. Great pitch there by Hale for a strike because everybody in the field was like, "That's a sure out."
Yeah,
and then he threw it home, and everybody's like, "What?" And then not only did he throw it home, it was off 4 feet. It wasn't even close, and so then it doubled down. Here's the 1-0, or the 0-1, 0-2 now. Back-to-back fastballs there by Hale. Got Ferguson late.
I think Hale's working quick here.
Yeah, he's going to go for the 0-2 here. And he gets him. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and an out there. Another State Farm Tara Harris strikeout. That's number 3, I believe, for Hale tonight.
You are correct.
So 3 and 4 outs is not a bad. It's not a bad night. Not a bad way to start. Again, we're having a little bit of a fight tonight with all the wind and all that with our camera, so we're doing our best to give you the best picture that we can. There's the first pitch there to the right fielder, Christian.
I'll say I think Hale's feeling it now.
Yeah, he's found a groove. I think less movement on the windup has really helped him here. So here's the 0-1 from him. Right down the middle for a strike.
That was right down Broadway.
Yeah, that was a. I mean, I think Christian was waiting on that off-speed frisbee that he likes to throw. All right, here's the 0-2. There's some gas on the inside there. A little chin music. Hale smiles a little bit. A little wry smile from him.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, though.
No, why not? All right, here's the 1-2. Just misses with the off-speed pitch.
I don't know. He said success. This first batter or 2 here with the fastball. I'll just go back.
Yeah, just go right back to what's working. All right, here's the 2-2. And he gets the strikeout. So that's strikeout number 4. Again, another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. And quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the second inning of play. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, number 3, Kendrick Abbey. He and the center fielder, Keithan Kane, almost had a terrible collision in that last inning. Thankfully, one of them saw the other in time to get out of the way.
I don't think anybody called for the ball.
Oh, there's that frisbee.
Nasty.
Yeah, Abbey was ready to go to third base there. He was just trying to get away from that one, and it broke right over the plate there. Again, I want to apologize for our center field camera. It is just fighting us tonight. Foul ball there. Just one of those nights. I don't know.
It's definitely the wind because looking out there, look at all the trees going back and forth.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of movement there, and sometimes that signal doesn't like a lot of wind.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm Hale, I'm going right back up with a gas.
Yeah, here it comes, 0-2. Low that time, just misses, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. But again, I like that look, though. See if he'll chase it a little bit low. Good job there by Abbey of staying disciplined and not chasing. Colton comes set. Here's the pitch. Misses that one outside, so 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think now you go back and put him one over the plate.
Yeah. I mean, he got the 2-2-2, right? So deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Comes set. Here's the pitch.
There it is.
And that's that frisbee.
Nasty.
He gets him on that one. That's another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout, number 5 for Colton Hale. And that's going to do it for the second inning of play. We're going to come back for the top of the third inning after a short break here on NETSN. All right, so a couple of lineup changes to talk about. The first baseman, Evan Fountain, is now the pitcher. Alex Mayo was the pitcher. He moved to short. Carson Walker was the shortstop. He moved to second. Ramirez was the second baseman. He moves to first. So kind of a rotation there. I'm sure our third baseman, Timo Simmons, feels left out. He's the only guy in the infield that didn't go anywhere. He's like, what about me, guys? All right, first pitch from the lefty Fountain is outside for a ball. And again, up to bat is Colt Barnhart. So he's up for his second at bat. He's 1 for 1, and he had a 2 RBI double in that second inning, part of that 8-run inning. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Off speed and outside for ball 2.
That's a tough one being a pitcher coming in.
Yeah, it
especially
is.
playing the field.
Here's the 2-0. Outside for ball 3. I'm telling you, these Kilgore people, they're the best in the world. They're trying so hard to help us.
Look, she's trying something.
We have the world's worst canopy, I believe, is the answer. It's great when there's sun behind you, but yeah, now that it's loose, it's wild. Here's the 3-0, and he catches the outside part of the plate, so 3 balls and 1 strike.
I think she might have had the right idea, though, kind of tucked in a piece there.
I like it. Pull something around here. Yeah, do whatever you need to. Maybe a little Velcro here.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
You know, do what you can. Just get it all tangled up.
I like it.
All right, so he gets another strike count there. So the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, so Fountain with the full count pitch here to Barnhart. So he's going to walk the runner in. Or walk the runner in. He's going to walk the runner. I'm used to saying score at this point. My fault on that. So runner at first. That's going to bring up number 12, Brody Smith, who's playing third base tonight for the Bulldogs.
And that's a tough one, though, because Fountain shook off the first 3 pitches they were suggesting to him.
Right. Yeah, that's always tough when the catcher gives you something you don't want it. And, again, you know, he's going to try to throw what feels comfortable for him, right? But at the same time, you know, you have to trust your catcher too, right? It's a trust relationship there. Throws over to first. Plenty of time there for him to get back. Again, the lefty is going to have a quicker move to first, but it's also really easy to balk as a lefty. As a lefty myself, I might have experienced that once or twice. All right, Fountain comes set, checks the runner at first, checks him again, comes home, and that one's wide and gets away, and that's going to send Barnhart to second base. So a little bit of a wild pitch there, and it's going to send the runner into second. So now you got a duck on the pond in scoring position here.
I was going to ask you something, too. You were talking about balks a while ago. Have you heard a rule this year where they can't, once they come set, move the ball around in their hand?
Interesting. I hadn't.
I've seen that called in a couple tournaments this year.
Huh.
And they're calling balks.
Interesting. I guess, yeah.
I don't know. It's a little.
Yeah, it's a little touchy, I think, if you ask me. I don't know about that one.
Yep. I do that. Okay. Now we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thought, too, because I'm like, I don't know. That's a little iffy for me.
Yeah, and again, I think it's an umpire to umpire thing sometimes too. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the delivery. Off-speed pitch. Says that's a little bit inside. That one didn't look too bad.
No,
I thought it was a pretty good off-speed pitch there, but he said it was inside. So 3-0 count here. Fountain comes home, and he catches the outside part of the black. All right, 3 balls, 1 strike. Fountain checks the runner. He comes home. Ground ball right behind Coach Hubbard there, right off his heels.
I would say, Coach, better stay alive.
Yeah. That is not the time to take a moment off. The ball will find you, as they say. All right. So, again, on the mound here, full count. And had to wait on somebody to chase that foul ball down. You don't want to have a situation where somebody plays the old ball trick and switches it, right? Gets the closer of the 2. All right, here's the 3-2 pitch to Smith. Ground ball over the pitcher's head. Slow roller. Mayo's going to throw to first. And he's going to hold it. Probably the wise move there.
That was a wise move because that was a nice little chopper. It just hopped right over Fountain's head.
If you're Fountain, I mean, that's a great pitch, right? I mean, it's a single. Like, it's one of those weird things where you just can't. So runners at first and third. Again, like it's the slow roller. Like Fountain threw a good pitch. He forced him into a chopper. Unfortunately, the chopper went in the worst location it could, right? I mean, that's one of those weird baseball bounces.
To me, that goes back to the whole thing, what type of field we're playing on. They take crazy hops off of turf, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it just plays different, right? You get a different roll, you get a different bounce. All right, here's the pitch. Misses that one low and outside.
It's consistent, though. We haven't seen those low strikes called all night.
Yeah, and again, in fairness, right, it has been. Braden Williams up to bat here. He's got the yellow shin protector, the yellow batting gloves, and the yellow sliding mitt. There's the pitch. It's a high pitch, and he hits a grounder. It goes to second, to first. So, ground into double play. All right, here's the pitch to Brooks. That one's high for a ball.
Apparently the scoreboard here's having much issues we did.
Yeah.
They still only have one out.
I know. And again, I think we messed up too because we didn't get the 9th run.
No.
Somehow it didn't give us that. Barnhart would have scored on that. So.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we missed that. Somehow, I think that's when I hit that one. I think we hit that one.
Oh, we had to go back and retap the
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So 2-0 the count here. Again, just one out. Brooks at the plate. That's a ground ball through the hole. That's deep into short. Mayo does a great job of picking it up, but again has no throw. And again, that's a speedy Brooks there. You're probably not going to get to that even if you get a good field on that. That's a tough guy to get out there.
I still feel like if you would have made that throw, it still would have been late.
Agreed.
Even from his knee.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a tough play. But again, Mayo did a good job there of keeping it on the infield. So runner at first. Hale up to bat here.
They finally added the second out up there.
There we go. Yeah, I think they were trying to figure out where did the other guy go. All right, Brooks going to take his lead, throw over to first. Not in time. Brooks back in plenty of time to come back standing up. He hadn't even really taken his lead yet.
No,
he was still trying to get his sliding mitt on, the oven mitt. Those are crazy to me. And I get the purpose of them. I do, like the safety part of it. It just seems like, and maybe there is some regulation now about size, but man, some of them you see, it looks like they're about 2 foot long. You know? Like I'm gonna stand halfway to second and just touch the base. You know, it seems a little.
You start
egregious.
your slide halfway to second, and you're already.
You're like, oh, and then you just have to like slide the glove. You just inch your way forward. Yeah, it's a wild thing. Again, we didn't have that when I was playing.
No, you had the fingertips.
Yeah, you just had to slide and hope you didn't jam a finger. All right, checks the runner, kicks and fires. Brooks goes. Ball's in the dirt. Throw out to second base is not in time. So stolen base there for Kason Brooks. And that gives Colton Hale someone to drive in. So a single into the outfield will score Brooks with his speed. Again, it's 9-0 in favor of the Kilgore Bulldogs here, top of the 3rd inning.
Jeez, I saw Brooks with that lead. I'm like, he's going.
Yeah.
He's going.
Well, and it's hard, too, because you got a lefty. So, you know, and it's hard as the pitcher, too, to know when to throw and when not to. Outside of the plate there, caught the edge, so gets a strike call there.
But to me, if I'm batting though right now, I like a runner like Brooks out there because he's playing games with the pitcher right now.
Yeah, again, anytime you can distract, and we saw that too in the 2nd inning. Right, runners on base were distracting Mayo a little bit and causing him to miss. All right, here's the 1-1 delivery. It's a high fly ball out of play. A little foul off to our right there. I miss the days when you could run it back in and get like a snow cone or something, right? But I think Tyrell was saying that baseballs are about $12 a pop now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what he was saying, $10-12, which is insane.
It was like $12 for a bucket.
Yeah, and now he said that it's just wild how much they cost. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what in there makes it that expensive. Cork and some string, you know what I mean? I don't know. Leather, I guess. Yeah,
the leather.
The only thing.
Yeah.
All right, here's the 1-2 pitch. He checks the runner at second. Checks him again. Time is called. Little mind games there by Brooks. He's just daring him to throw.
But, it could be the cork, man. I've heard that eventually we're going to run out of cork someday because the way cork's manufactured.
Right, why not cork? All right, here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Just inside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So if you're in it, the deuce is wild. We used to take the hats off, right? Pretend to roll the dice. Pitcher comes set, throws home. That's a ground ball into the outfield.
That's a nice hit right there.
Yeah, it is a great piece
Brooks
of hitting.
Brooks is coming in.
Yeah, Brooks is coming in. The throw is going to be close, but not in time. Throw goes out to second base, and Hale is in there safely. So a single for Hale. It's going to score Brooks. And then Hale gets to second on the throw. So they're going to get a courtesy runner. I believe that is Dre Sanders coming in there. It is, number 10. So Dre Sanders is our courtesy runner at second. And that's going to bring up Miles Applegate, the catcher. So one of those weird things where this lineup, you can have back-to-back courtesy runners, right, with your catcher and then your pitcher going back-to-back. All right, so 10-0, again, in favor of Kilgore. Top of the 3rd inning here in Tyler, Texas, on the campus of Cumberland Academy High School. I can't even say all that.
That's a mouthful,
It is a
man.
mouthful. Yeah.
Home of the Knights.
That's right, home of the Knights. All right, here's the first pitch to Applegate. Right down the pipe for a strike.
It's a pretty pitch.
Again, you said it earlier, man. When that wind really starts picking up, we start losing our camera signal. So, again, if you see me switch, that's why. We much prefer the center field cam when we got a batter at the plate. But if it's not on, it doesn't help us. So here's the 0-1 delivery from Fountain. Ground ball right to Fountain. He's going to scoop. He's going to toss to first in plenty of time, and that's going to do it for the top of the 3rd inning. But not before Kilgore plates 2 more runs. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 3rd inning here on NETSN.
This is where legends rise. On the hardwood, under the lights, from the buzzer beaters to the rim rockers, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story, from the blacktop to the big stage. Your favorite hoopers, your squads, your passion, all in one place, only on NETSN. Live games, exclusive shows. This is the future of basketball culture. 24/7 sports entertainment. This isn't just a network, this is a movement. Welcome to NETSN. Game on.
All right, welcome back. Again, bottom of the 3rd inning. Kilgore up 10-0. Again, we're on the campus of Cumberland Academy. I'm here joined by my good friend Jeremy Titsworth. First game we've gotten to do baseball-wise together this year.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, we got to hang out in football. We had that crazy playoff game where Our camera guy literally had to sit on the table in front of us because nothing was working. And then I think we did a basketball game together. So, it's about time we did a baseball game
We're
together.
just well-rounded all sports.
Yeah, we just try to do a little bit of everything. Again, we love doing what we do. It's so much fun to get to do that, and we get to bring high school sports to the masses through YouTube, and it's a great thing. Again, something I wish was available so much earlier.
Telling you.
Because it's fantastic.
That's one of the things you could say thank you to COVID about, but other than that, you could tell COVID to go away.
That's it. All right, so Hale's going to face Timo Simmons here. First pitch is high for a ball.
Just a little high.
Yeah. Again, I always thought it was when a guy squares early, it's almost harder as a pitcher in some ways because you lose that. It kind of gets in the way of the glove, right? You have to know where your spots are. And all right, here's the 1-0. He gave him the old Frisbee there. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm telling you, isn't that filthy? That sweeper is nasty. It is not fair. That thing has got so much sideways movement. And it even has some north-south, too.
I was about to say come back with gas right here.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Gets him because he was squared to bunt and didn't pull it back. So Simmons here, 1 ball, 2 strikes quickly. All right, here's the 1-2.
Oof.
Just
a bit outside.
Yeah, just a hair off the black there is what he said.
That's
Again,
tough.
I do like, though, that he does let him know
kind of where it was.
He'll say up or down, or he'll say in and out. So that is nice when an umpire gives you that, so you at least know what he's looking at. That one's low and inside.
I don't think our adjustments worked.
No. Too much give. All right, so and he gets him. What a pitch there by Hale. So he gets the strikeout. That's going to be another Terry Harris State Farm strike. I think that's number 6. Number 6.
Another one.
Yeah, so again, just 7 outs in the game for the Knights so far, and 6 of them have been by strikeout. And that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Nick Savage. First pitch strike to him.
I do like the fact that Hill's coming straight out with these guys. Like he's starting to feel that heat again, like we saw early on.
That rhythm that he was in earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the 0-1. Good shot there. Ground ball to first. The throw goes to, it's loose and wide and gets away. He's going to take off for second. All right, so a single there, and then an error gets him to second base. So you got a runner at second.
There you go. We got tech support working on it.
Yeah. Again, we apologize. That wind gets over about 15-10, and it just does not like the connection out in center field.
I would say from where we're sitting, the wind's whipping. I can only imagine being, was that about 8-9 feet in there, 12
at
feet?
least. Foul ball there. Hits the screen. Comes back down in front of us. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss there. So quickly 0-2. All right, Hale comes set, checks the runner. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside, just misses for a ball.
I know what we need. We need the big receiver that Brett has.
Yes, if we had the giant one, he's got a huge one. There's the one. Again, that one gets away. And that's going to play to run. So the error by the third baseman, Smith, leads to a run for the Cumberland Knights.
I think I've got it.
Again, you know, Smith just got in a little bit of a hurry on that throw. He had plenty of time there. Just sped himself up some and got himself in trouble. Throw goes to first. Ball gets away again. And the runner gets to second base. So an error there by Hale. And now we have runners. We have a runner at second again, just one out here. Score 10-1 in favor of Kilgore. And the Knights are trying to do a little damage here, see if they can get something going. Here's the pitch.
They are, and we're seeing Kilgore's defense kind of commit some errors here now.
Yeah.
But if I'm Hale, I'm going back to it, going back to work. Fastball, the nasty pitch he's got. I'm going, man.
Yeah, here's the 0-1. Goes right to the bat there. He fields, catches him in a rundown. Smith is going to throw it. And that gets away. Runner's coming home. Ball gets loose. And everything kind of falling apart here. So a lot there.
That's a lot to take in. I'm like, how do you score that? Because it's like
I think you go error there on. Yeah, I mean it's
error here.
Yeah, so it's really like a fielder's choice to it. I don't know. It's wild, but yeah. So the runner's going to score,
and then
you're going to go.
Oh,
I think you just go here, and then you're going to move him to third base, and it's going to go on an error, on a throwing error, right by the third baseman. It's wild. We're trying to get it all caught up, so bear with us. It's a.
I think that.
All right, so we're getting I think Coach Hubbard is asking about a couple things here. He's just confused about something, wanting to make sure that what we got is what we got here, and so he's going to ask the official out there what's going on. We're going to take a short break. Oh, no, never mind. The meeting in the mounds is over. I thought we were going to have a longer. So again, it's 10-2. Cumberland having a little bit of a rally. And again, you talked about it, right?
Yeah.
The errors that plagued Cumberland in the top of the second are now plaguing Kilgore in the bottom. And again, Smith had an easy throw. He held it too long, and then he tried to rush it, and he yipped it, right? And he's committed 2 errors in this inning. And again, that's unfortunate, right? And again, you make one, and then you try that much harder not to, and you almost make the second one.
It's like the thing we saw earlier. I mean, it's just a little chopper back to the pitcher. Instead of just taking the easy out at first, you try to deal with the runner at third, and you cause more chaos.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what Coach Hubbard was talking about earlier on that first run is that batter never left the box.
Yeah.
And it didn't give Applegate a chance to do anything, right? And so I think that was his call. Was that not interference? That's going to be a hard foul shot there by Evan Fountain. So 1-1 and 1 out.
One's everywhere.
Yeah. A set of singles, maybe. I don't know what I'd call that. We always said deuces wild. I don't know what you call 1-1 and 1 out, but there's got to be a good name for that. Somebody's got one. If you got one, let us know in the chat. Again, reach out and let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. It's awful quiet. We haven't quite gotten the Kilgore Bulldog chat up, but we're working on it. We're getting there. We're getting a little bit better at it. But again, we're glad you tuned in. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Misses that one just inside with that sweeper. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, runner at third base is Ramirez. Here's the pitch. outside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. And again, I think now Hale is aiming versus pitching.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's trying to be perfect instead of just – and again, sometimes it happens when you commit a couple errors in the field. You try to do too much instead of just throwing gas and getting that ball where it needs to be, like that. You get that chopper. It goes to Edney. Edney comes home with it. But again, it's got to be a tag there. So everybody's safe. So that's going to plate another run. So now the score is 10-3.
Think about this, though. You got the out earlier that should have went to first. Then you could have had an easy play.
That pitch is outside for ball 1. Yeah, and again, those are the things that come back to bite you, right? Like you said, you take the out, right? That run down at third didn't hurt you because you throw the ball to first, he stuck at third.
Exactly.
It'd be different if he was trying to score maybe, but again, that got him in trouble there, right? It would have been out of the inning. Good pitch there from Hale. And again, those are what young guys do, right? You make young mistakes when you're a young player, and these are things you learn from, right? You go back to the drawing board and go, okay, what worked, what didn't, where did we do wrong there?
What were we doing here, guys?
Yeah. All right. Hale comes set. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
That's how you go back to a reliable right there. Start throwing gas. I don't know why it didn't calculate. There it goes.
There we go. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to Walker. Outside, 2-2. Good job by Applegate there to knock that one down and keep it in front of him. I thought the reason I looked over is because I couldn't read the number. It almost looked like 18, and I panicked because I knew it wasn't supposed to be that. And so I was like, oh, no, did we have the wrong thing? But it was just a wrinkle in the number 10 on the back of his jersey there. So I panicked for nothing. My fault.
It's all good.
Here's the 2-2 delivery from Hale. Lays off that one, so count goes full.
To me, I'm going right back at him, though, because you got Walker swinging earlier.
Yeah, you had him behind and late on the fastball. Throws to first. Great job there by Benson getting a hold of that one. That was almost a bad one again. And again, you got an out here. You can get the out at the plate here to strike him out. That comes inside, so it's going to be a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up the DH, Ferguson. So Ferguson's 0 for 1. Again, Hale's got 6 strikeouts.
Glad those weights are on, man.
Man, I'm telling you. That thing came whipping out of there. That was ready to take some good night on Friday. All right, guys. It is whipping. That's a foul ball back.
I got that one.
Screen. Man, we got a leaf stuck in front of us. It's gotten wild in here. It's gotten, I think somebody would say biblical is the word. Whew. We got things sliding and flipping all over the place. It's a wild one out here. This is probably the windiest one I've been to in a while. Yeah, it feels like Kansas a little bit here. That's why they build press boxes in Kansas, because of this, because the wind whips so hard you can't say anything.
Well, there ain't no trees like here.
That's true. Here's the 0-1. Fouls that one up in the air. Applegate's going to try to make. He just needed a little bit longer arm there, I think would have been the key, right?
Could have laid out for. No.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That would have been a tough. Man, that turf hurts too if you don't all that stretch out. But yeah, Miles made a great attempt at it. Couldn't quite get there. Couldn't quite chase it down.
They make that nice cell. It's got padding under there, but it's concrete.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, it is. It is a.
I don't care what kind of padding you think's underneath there.
It's not enough. Not enough. All right, here's the 0-2 from Hale. Ball gets away, or low and away, excuse me. All right, Hale comes set, checks the runner at second, checks him again. Here he comes home, 1-2 pitch. And what a pitch there by Hale for the strikeout. Gets him looking. That's the 7th strikeout for Hale, and another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. All right, so 2 outs here. Again, your score 10-3 in favor of Kilgore. And that's going to bring up number 9, Braden Christian. Off-speed pitch just outside and low.
This is that part of the lineup that Hale struck out with nothing but fastball earlier. So to me, I'm going back to the gas.
Yep, just hammer him home.
He is at 58 pitches right now, though.
Right. Checks the runner at second. He comes home, 1-0 delivery, and swing and a miss. Like you said earlier, gas, right? Like, and again, I'm giving a quick look to second base, and then I'm coming home, right? With 2 outs here, I'm not worried about the guy at second. He can't hurt me where he's at.
I'm going to go attack the batter.
Yeah. All right, counts 1-1 here. Hale comes set, checks the runner, kicks, throws to, he fakes it out, doesn't throw. Nothing doing, so gets everybody kind of getting back where they started from. And the pitch, outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Throw goes down to second base. Woo, and it was close. Almost got Fountain there. Fountain almost didn't get back in time.
They would have been an even closer call if the ball didn't come rolling out.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. Off-speed pitch. Says just a hair low. All right, so 3 balls, 1 strike to Christian. Hale comes set. Kicks and fires. Right down the middle for strike 2. Great pitch there from Hale. Again, just do the same thing.
Yep.
Rip it right down the middle. Make him swing at it.
I might even go opposite side of the plate where you just threw that one.
Yeah. Put something on the plate, though, right? You got that full count, so you want to make sure it's on there. All right, here's the 3-2. Again, 2 outs here. Runnels will be going on the pitch. 3-2 delivery. And it gets him looking. What a strikeout there for Hale. And that's going to do it for the 3rd inning. Again, Cumberland comes back and plates 3 of their own, so your score is 10-3. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back for more action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 4th inning here in Tyler, Texas, on the campus of Cumberland Academy. The Kilgore Bulldogs have a 10-3 lead over the Knights. Again, it was quiet the first inning, and then Kilgore put up an 8 spot in the second, and then Kilgore puts up 2 in the third, and then Cumberland countered with 3 of their own there in the bottom of the third. So that brings us to our score of 10-3. Again, Evan Fountain is back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, and he's going to face the lineup of Edney, Henry, and Benson. And then if they're able to get on, that'd bring up the third baseman, Smith, and then Williams, and then hopefully they get back to the top of the lineup. Again, I think they'd love nothing more than to put up another snowman like they did in the second inning, right? Put this one out of reach here and see if they can get out of here with a W. And again, Cumberland had a good comeback there. Again, they took advantage of errors. Both teams have tonight.
I was going to say, I feel like, though, if you're Cumberland, they want a 1-2-3 inning right here.
Yeah, they need a quick one here to kind of keep some momentum on their side. And Kilgore wants to bring old Mo back to the other side of the field there.
Not the wind, just Uncle Mo.
That's right. That's right. Man, it's blowing a certain way. I don't know where, but it's blowing. Good night.
It's like swirling.
Yeah, it is. All right, Fountain comes home. First pitch ball from Fountain. Yeah, I feel like our whole camera height's changed, like the whole thing. I feel like it's just slowly been lower it just keeps dipping on us a little bit here. And it's been one of those nights. We apologize for that. But, again, we're glad you're here. 1-0. Just misses. So 2-0.
Bring your dog to the dog park
I
night.
guess so. A little corgi over there. That's inside. Almost hits Edney. The guys in the dugout usually yell, "Let it hit you."
Stay in there.
Yeah, take one for the team, you know. It's easy to say when you're in the dugout safe, right? All right, so Edney's up on the count. 3 balls, no strikes. Fountain's going to come home. Off-speed pitch, and it is creamed out to deep left field. It hits the fence on a bounce. He missed the touch at second. He's going to sprint to second. He's going to have to get there quick and get down. And he does just in time. What should have been an easy double turned into a wild double there.
Had me watching. I wasn't even scoring. I was like, oh, man.
He hit that thing all the way to the fence on a hop there. I thought it might have had some yard in it. I think if the wind isn't blowing the way it is, that might have gone all the way because he put a charge. He put a charge into that one. Edney trying to get all the gear off here. Yeah, they were giving him a hard time. He missed first base. Coach goes, "What'd you do?" He's like, I forgot the bag. I missed it.
Yeah, it's hard to turn and go to second when you don't touch first.
Yeah. It would have been against the rules there. Because then you got to go all the way back and do it again, right? So at least he was wise enough there to catch on and get himself where he needed to be. So, again, Case and Edney at second. Case and Henry up to bat here, the DH tonight. This Bulldog team. And he's been the DH every game I've done. Sitting there in that 5 spot tonight. Pitch comes in. That gets low. Great block there by the catcher, Savage, to keep that in front of him and not let Edney get anywhere.
Yeah, I think if that rolls all the way back, Edney's at third.
Yeah. Again, the Fountain's just missing that off speed. It's just coming a little bit too soon to the inside there, I think is what the umpire's telling him. So here's the 1-0 from Fountain. He checks the runner at second. Comes home. Swing and a miss from Henry. And he wanted all of that one.
He did. He did.
He said.
But I think after all this off speed and then kind of Fountain caught him off guard a little bit.
Yeah. Good play by him there to get that little off speed to fastball movement there. A little bit of a speed change, threw the hitter off. Here's the 1-1. And he hits him. All right, so that's going to put runners on at first and second here, no outs, and that's going to bring up Brody Benson. Brody, again, our first baseman for the evening. All right, so runners at first and second. Again, no outs here. Top of the 4th inning in a 10-3 ball game. Here's the pitch. That is hammered to left field. That's over the left fielder's head. It bounces
over the wall.
Over the wall for a ground rule double. Man, what an unlucky thing for.
Oh, he thought it went out. The way he was looking at it,
he thought he was in the home run trot. He was like, oh, man, my bad. They were telling the left fielder, throw your hands up. So ground rule double there. Scores a run, so it's 11-3. Kilgore. Great shot there.
Man, if that was me, I'd be, oh, come on, guys. Just give me that one.
Of all the unlucky bounces, right? That turf will do that to you, though. Like you said, you get wild bounces on turf, and that one goes over the fence. And, again, with a chain link fence, it's hard to tell it went over because you couldn't really see for sure. Did it land on the backside and bounce up, or did it land inside the field? And
yeah.
Off-speed pitch again is inside for a ball.
The wind is unforgiving.
It is. Again, runners at second and third, so a ground ball to the outfield or anything to the outfield should score 1, maybe even 2. That's going to be a sky-high pop-up. It's coming over behind us. And nobody has to repair a windshield, so a good outcome all in all.
I thought it was going to come through the canopy.
Yeah. With everything else that's happened tonight, it might as well land on the canopy, right? It would be justice if it did, right? One of those funny things. Oh, man. All right. Fountain comes set. He comes home. Off-speed pitch stays well high. And that second inning double, scoring 2. And he's got a chance here to get a single or a double and do the same. Get himself a couple of extra RBI here.
He's looking for a deja vu.
Yeah, that one's high and outside, so 3-1.
I feel like some of these are breaking pitches from Fountain. They're just not breaking.
Yeah, he's not getting enough spin on it. His spin rate's not quite where it needs to be to bring that ball back over the plate. All right, the 3-1. It's a high pop-up over by first base. Catch is made by Ramirez. So good catch there by Ramirez. And we got 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. Again, Kilgore's already plated 1 run in the inning, looking to do some more damage. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Brody Smith. Brody's 1 for 2 on the evening. Fountain comes set. Comes home. That off-speed pitch again didn't quite come down. His release point's just a little off there. All right, here's the 1-0. Call strike outside of the plate again. I think that was one you could probably do some damage with.
I think so too. If you turned on that one.
Yeah, and I think it's part of why you get the head shake there from Brody, and maybe a hair outside. But again, that pitch has been called all evening, so not something you can't be prepared for. Fountain's checking the signal, the sign. Steps off. All right, batter and pitcher both reset. Here's the 1-1. And, that was a hot shot. Great catch by the coach there.
Nice
Bare-handed that sucker. Man,
nice hands.
Great job there by him. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here on that foul ball. All right, 1-2 here is the count. Smith looking to do some damage. He's got 2 runners in scoring position here. The 1-2 delivery. And he laces that one out into right center field. That's going to hit the ground, and that's going to get by the outfielders.
Maybe a triple?
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to leg a triple out of this one.
Wow.
What a piece of hitting there by Brody Smith. So a 2-run triple. Man, what a shot there. So, again, quickly, we're 13 toward their 10-run lead here. And, again, that's going to bring up Braden Williams. Again, just 1 out here in the inning and a runner at third base.
If you're getting triples like that at the bottom of your lineup, you're doing something good.
Yes, for sure. Called strike on the outside corner of the plate. All right, here's the 0-1 delivery from Fountain. It's a bunt. Misses the bunt. Throw comes down to third. And they're going to say he's safe. Oof. I don't know. I think they might have got him.
I was going to say I think they tagged him.
Yeah, it was.
Because he tapped him on the back before his foot hit the bag.
Yeah, Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get over there quick enough, but it did. It looked like he was out, but they're going to say safe. And so 0-2. Again, bad break there for the Knights. All right, the 0-2 delivery to Williams. And Williams fouls that one away. That would have been a for sure ball.
I think he was just protecting the plate on that one.
Oh, the Cumberland canopy was trying to go yard behind us. It was trying to leave the premises. Although ours isn't doing much better, it is hanging around. But it's
for dear life, it's
man,
holding on.
I'm telling you. All right, here's the 0-2 pitch again to Williams. It's a line shot foul down the right field line. So we're going to reset again 0-2.
Williams at least staying alive here. That's a great at bat.
Yeah.
Protecting
the plate, keeping things going. Had to get a couple more baseballs in. They keep going out of play, and then the young kids aren't bringing them back.
There's another $12. There's another 12. No.
Yeah, that's what's brutal too. It's like, oh man.
Surely they can't. They don't cost $12 a piece.
That was the rumor on the street. $10-12 a piece.
Eesh.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, like you said, I remember you could buy a dozen for $15, $20, maybe even at the worst, right? Like, and those were the game balls.
Yeah.
Right. You could get some of those, like kind of like the old golf balls that have been in the water. You get a slightly used set for nothing.
Refurbished.
Yes, there you go.
Kind of cleaned off a little bit.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 again. Kicks. He fires. And a line shot out to center field. That's going to get down and bounce. And that's going to be an RBI single for Braden Williams. Great piece of hitting there by him. Again, like you said, right center field and the left field area have been used a lot tonight, right? That right center, that line drive there, they've had a couple of those, and then a couple balls over there to left field by the pole. And so a busy night for the outfielders. All right, that's going to bring the top of the lineup up with Kason Brooks. So 14-3 is your score here. Brooks looking to add to that total. The off-speed pitch is lined out to right center field in that exact same place, and that's going to get all the way to the wall, and I'm going to go with a triple, maybe an inside the Parker for Brooks because he's got so much speed. They're going to send him. We're going to see.
Oh, he held him.
Oh.
I feel like Brooks would have scored, though.
I think that's what he said. He said, Coach, I had it. I had it.
Oh, man.
But again, a great triple there. And again, you don't want to be the second out at home, right?
No.
Like, that's probably the right call, but it's also the one that you hate because you're like, that's it. That's the one. That thing stayed just under the wall for a hair there. Yeah, I mean, at 15-3, I probably get to send him home. Like Brett said, I think so, too. I think I'm sending him. All right, so we're going to have a quick conference here. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change here, potentially. I think they're a little rock, paper, scissors. I think they're going to give the ball to Ramirez here, it looks like, maybe.
Maybe Fountain go back to first.
Yeah, it looks like it. So that's what it looks like here. So I think they're bringing, so Fountain being the left-handed first baseman, right? You can't give him Ramirez's first base glove.
That's a little, he's like, hold on, I can't use this.
Yeah, and I think that's what, they forgot to do that part, so now they're doing that. So they're going to make a second swap here. Fountain's like, oh, I hit it. I put it deep in my bag. I got to get it. Hold on a minute. He's like, it's the only left-handed glove in the dugout, guys. How can we not find it? Now it looks like he's got what he needs. Again, that wind is just brutal tonight. It is.
How many pitches they give you to warm up with, on average? I know it's usually varies on part.
Yeah,
what's the actual?
I think probably about 10.
10.
And again, I think when you come in mid-inning, you get a few more than you would between innings. It's usually about 7 between innings. And again, that depends on how long it takes the catcher to get gear on too. Yeah. But I would say usually it's about 7. And then you can get lucky with up to 10 in a mid-inning switch like this. And again, Ramirez coming to the mound here. He pitched the first inning of the first game, so he got hit around a little bit, but he didn't throw a lot of pitches, so he's got plenty left. as far as the pitch count here, it may prevent him from being the starter on Tuesday next week for them, right?
Ooh, that's true.
There's those days off depending on how many days it is between games, and next week's a weird week too because you got most teams are going Monday or Tuesday, Thursday because of the holiday with Good Friday, and so Kilgore will be back playing again next Tuesday, and I believe they're playing in Chapel Hill on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then Thursday we'll be in Kilgore for the second game of that back-to-back. So
It's supposed to be me with you on Tuesday, but I'm not sure who's going to be with you.
Okay. I feel like that's been the story of my season. Like it's like the pull a rabbit out of the hat.
It may be an all Jeremy broadcast with just Jeremy by himself.
I did that on Tuesday. I survived okay. There might have been a few people tired of hearing from me at that point, but we've done it before. I might have to bring the owner out or something.
There you
I might
go.
have to talk him into coming out.
He's been a little retired for baseball and softball.
Shaking the dust off of the deal there. All right, again. So Ramirez comes set. First pitch is in the dirt. Again, you got Hale at the plate.
I was laughing earlier because you switched from behind home plate and that camera was shaking as crazy as it could be.
Yeah, sometimes you can't win. All right, here's the 1-0. Outside ball 2. And again, Ramirez gets a lot of spin on his, and I think he just had a hard time the other night locating it. And again, it's an interesting deal because he's on the left side of the rubber.
Yep.
And so then he tends to throw outside to right-handed hitters, but he had some trouble locating when he did that the other night. So called strike there. Again, that's been a called strike all night. Whether it's
I agree.
the perfect call, I don't know, but it has been called consistently all night. So 2 balls, 1 strike here to the second hitter in the lineup. Again, Brooks is at third after the triple. Fouled that one away. Hit the netting and came back in. So Applegate's going to chase it down for his catcher counterpart there. All right, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, just 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. They've already plated 5 runs. And Brooks is primed to get him another one here. If anything gets hit, he's probably coming home. Again, that one's fouled off to our right, out of play. Hot shot there.
I think if he'd have waited just a tad bit longer, he probably would have put that right in that same left, like
he's trying to let that ball carry, right, to go opposite, but almost a little too much that time.
Yep.
All right, so the 2-2 delivery again. Ramirez comes home. That one's popped up. That's going to be off to first base, out of range here of our camera, but that's going to be out of play for a foul ball.
They gave it a run.
Yeah, I thought we might get lucky. I haven't quite had one of those. We had one.
Were you getting on the camera in the right
yeah,
there
like
at
a
it?
kid caught it, like right at. Yeah, it was
Wow.
cool. It was pretty close, and so it was kind of nice. But not many of we've been lucky there. But you got to try. It's just wiggling, man. Sometimes the danger of attaching to the net. If the net's loose, it just moves with the net, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to do the 2-2 again. Ramirez gets the signal. He comes set. He kicks and fires, and that one gets away, and guess who's coming home? Here comes Kason Brooks, and he gets home easily. All right, so wild pitch by Ramirez, scores another run, and it's 16-3 in favor of the Kilgore Bulldogs.
Yep, Brooks only needed a little bit of space.
Yeah, you didn't need that to get very far away.
No.
That was almost the worst thing that happened was Ramirez almost got there at the wrong time. They almost had a collision, right? That had been about the only thing that could have gone wrong there. All right, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the countdown, 3, 2, 1. It was close. Almost gave him the strike call, but he said it was wide. So walk there drawn by Hale. And again, you got a runner at first base, and you got Applegate up at the plate. Applegate is 1 for 3 with 2 RBI. All right, Ramirez comes set. Kicks and fires. Just misses the outside edge there. It was just barely off the black. Savage tried to frame that.
I was just about to say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Savage tried to bail him out, little frame there.
Didn't get the call. All right, 1-0 here. Comes home. That was a good pitch, yeah. Miles is nodding his head. He's like, okay, now I know where And again, Ramirez has been outside, right? All of his pitches this inning have been on that outside edge. So you got to make that adjustment, right? All right, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. Again, 6 runs have already been plated this inning by Kilgore. That one's outside, so 2 balls and a strike. And again, we do have a courtesy runner at first base. I believe that's Dre Sanders, number 10 it is. So Dre's there and running in place of Hale. That is a loud shot to deep right center field. The center fielder ranges over, and he's able to make the catch. What a catch there. Yeah, so Keith and Kane with the range on that one was able to get underneath that one and make the catch. That was a great shot there by Applegate, though. You can't be mad about squaring one up like that, you know. No. I know he's frustrated because it got caught, but, man, he laced that one.
He did, and I don't know. We said it earlier. I feel like some of these might carry without the swirling wind we're dealing with tonight.
Yeah, so Edney up here. 2 outs, runner at first. Throw goes over to first, and it's not in time. Good job there by Dre getting back. Again, Ramirez has got a good move to first there. That was a quick move.
No delay.
All right, he comes set. Runner's going. Throw is offline. So Sanders gets the stolen base there. So 1-0 is the count. Again, now Sanders in scoring position here for Edney. That one's high. First time he's come inside, and that one got elevated. That's one where you don't want to be leaning out over the plate, right? That would be a scary one.
Just enough for a taller guy. I feel like that would be perfect height.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes here. Checks the runner at second. Kicks and fires. Line drive to center field. Is that going to get down? It does. They're going to send the runner from second home. So a single, an RBI single there for Kason Edney. Great piece of hitting by him. Again, good inside-out swing there to put that ball into right center and gets down before the outfielder can get to it.
Beautiful piece of hitting.
It was. So 17-3 now. Again, 7 runs here for Kilgore in this inning. So they put up 8 in the second, 2 in the third, and then now 7 in the fourth. And your score is 17-3. Here's the pitch. Strike there.
I think if you're Henry, though, that was probably the one to hit.
Yeah. So Case and Henry up to bat, the DH.
Just because I feel like Ramirez is going to go back to work to the outside.
Yeah, I agree. All right, here's the 0-1. It's a high shot to right center field. And he is unable to get to it. Probably should have been a ball for the right fielder there, but the center fielder called him off. And we're going to get a triple here. So Case and Henry with a triple scores a run, and it's 18-3 Kilgore. And that brings up Brody Benson, and Benson's got to be excited because he's got a guy at third base, right? Let's keep this chorus line moving here.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with you, though. I think right field should have definitely slid over a little bit.
Well,
Got to that
and
one,
Kane
but
called him off right away.
He did.
So the right fielder did the right thing. He stopped on being called off.
Yep.
He probably should have overruled him, but Benson a healthy cut there, but just misses.
Benson wanted it, though.
Yeah, he did. He was again, that high cheddar got him last inning too. Last at bat, he was swinging for the fences on that high one. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch from Ramirez. Another high one. Doesn't chase that time. Good eye by him. So 1 ball, 1 strike. I feel like we're not in we're in Kansas now. Instead of not in Kansas anymore, right, Toto? So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of the 4th inning, 18-3 in favor of Kilgore.
This is like a flashback for you.
Yeah. Not always in a good way, man. It's been wild. I think the problem is living here, 20 years is that you get used to not having wins. So when it happens, it feels so much stranger again. Oh, man, he just reaches out and touches that one. It's going to get down in front of Kane, and that's going to plate another run. So Henry scores from third on the little bloop single there by Brody Benson. And again, he's not going to care how it came down, but that wasn't a bad pitch by Ramirez. He really kind of jammed him and kind of forced him to kind of poke at one, and unfortunately landed in front of the center fielder and plates another run.
Yeah, Benson just reached out and just, like you said, nice little blooper. But man, that's a tough one if you're Ramirez, because that was a pretty pitch.
Yeah, here's the second baseman Barnhart up to bat. Again, 2 outs here in the inning. First pitch strike. And Benson's a big guy. He plays first, and he's a head taller than Fountain over there at first base.
At least.
Yeah. Looked like Fountain had 2 heads for a second when I looked over before he got the lead. That one's outside for a ball, so 1 ball, 1 strike. All right, 1-1. That one's in the dirt. Good scoop there by Savage to keep it in front of him. All right, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, 2 outs here, top of the 4th inning. Kilgore's got a 19-3 lead. Again, Cumberland is on their 3rd pitcher of the evening here in just the 4 innings. That is a loud shot out to right field. The right fielder's underneath it and makes the catch. And that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. Again, not before Kilgore scores 9 more runs. Jeremy and I will be back for the bottom of the 4th inning after this short break here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, so Hale back on the mound here. Here's the pitch. It's a bunt there by Abbey down the first base line, and it's going to roll just foul.
Not a bad idea by Abbey, though.
And it would have been a good bunt. I mean, again, if you can.
It rode that line the whole way.
It did. There was one the other night like that went down the third. I think it was the third base line, and Cumberland almost picked it up. And at the last second, he hesitated. It rolled foul, and it would have been bad because they'd have had everybody safe. One of those that they had a guy that had run from first to third in the meantime. And all right, so 0-2 there.
Pitch gets Abbey jumping out of the way.
Yeah,
again.
he was ready to. Again, it's nasty. That sweeper is just filthy. All right. Here's the 0-2 from Hale. He kicks, he fires, straight heat, and gets him swinging. So that's K number 9 for Colton Hale. And again, another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. Hog Athletic Booster Club for baseball, as well as to Tara Harris. Tara, our primary sponsor of Kilgore Baseball. All right, so this is Timo Simmons again up to bat, facing Hale. He squares to bunt and takes a strike because he didn't pull it back and he missed the bunt. Man, Brody Smith from third was crashing hard. He was almost at the plate. He almost ran too far. All right, so Simmons. 0-1 to him. Swings and misses, and quickly 0-2.
Simmons looked like he was golfing there for a minute.
Yeah, that's that one where you start your swing and you're like, crap, I just got to finish it because I'm already halfway there, right? It's that one where you know you shouldn't have swung and it's too late.
Or you wish you had a cricket bat because it's a little bit longer.
All right, here's the 0-2. And again, lefties sometimes like those low ones. And he catches the inside part of the black for another strikeout. That's strikeout number 9. Catches him, or number 10. Excuse me, catches him looking. And another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. Man, thank you, Colton Hale. And again, if you've got any insurance needs, Tara Harris would love nothing more than to sit down with you and talk about it. And again, please tell her that we sent you.
There you go.
She's been great. We talked to them. I've known them for a long time, and they were more than willing to jump on board and sponsor and highlight and spotlight what these Bulldogs are doing. And so if you're looking for insurance needs or just want to see if they can beat what you currently have, that's a great way to do it, right? You got to
sit down, discuss, go over every little detail.
That's right. It matters. All right, here's the 0-1 delivery from Hale. And gas. So Savage quickly down 0-2. And again, Cumberland down to their last batter here. They're down 16. So if they don't score a couple runs here, that's going to do it with the run rule here. And so Hale's going to look to put this one out of reach. Here's the 0-2 delivery from him. Swing and a miss, and it gets him swinging. That's the 11th strikeout for Colton Hale. That's going to do it for the 4th inning, and that's going to do it for the ball game. What a pitching job by him. Again, thank you, Tara Harris and State Farm. That's going to do it for our score tonight. Again, big 2nd inning, big 4th inning for Kilgore really was the story of the game. And, again, the runs came on for both teams on errors and mistakes.
Yep.
But, again, Kilgore did just a little bit better job of capitalizing on those mistakes.
Yeah, I would think the hitting for Oppo Fields, too, that was a big deal for Kilgore, especially put up 9 in that inning long ago.
Agreed. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We're so glad you did. We hope you had a great time like we did. We're going to catch you again Tuesday night at Chapel Hill High School for the first of 2 between the Bulldogs and the Bulldogs.
Battle of Dogs?
Yeah, Battle of the Dogs there. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to do it. Again, for Jeremy Titsworth, I'm Jeremy Diamond. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on Tuesday night here on NETSN.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.